All right, so working on cleaning the shop here, and if you watch my other videos, you know this is an ongoing process. Finally decided I have too much junk, and so and it needs to be organized. So I got to organize it all, but that means I have to move a bunch of stuff. So today we are going to see if we can start this 1967 112 with a Johnson Model 10 loader on it. This machine hasn't probably been started in a year and a half. Normally I start it every summer and I actually use it some, but I did not this year, mostly because of the pandemic, etc. Just didn't have the time to do it. So went and found a battery. It's been sitting on the maintainer, and so the battery should be good. And let's get it hooked up and see if it'll actually fire off. I don't think it would have any gas in the tank. Oh, it's got a little bit. I do only use, for machines that sit like this, I do only use non-ethanol gas. I can get that locally. So the gas shouldn't be too much of a problem for a year and a half. But we'll see if we can get it started. It historically has been extremely cold-natured. And it doesn't like to run very well. It's a typical, since it's got the Tecumseh HH100 in it, it is typically, it's a little contrary sometimes. So I'll set up the camera and we'll see if we can get it running. And then we got to get it out the door. So we got to cut a path through here, got to move all that stuff, and then we'll get it out the door and we're going to put it out in the shed. That way, eventually what I want to do is I want to make this area right here kind of my work area for machines. So I'm going to work on that. All right, let's get this battery hooked up. Never been a huge fan of how some folks will do these batteries like this, but it is what it is in this particular case. Actually, I'm going to flip that around so it's not quite pointed towards the frame and all the metal parts. This will be fine. I've owned this machine since 2014 or 2015. So I've owned it quite a while. I haven't spent nearly enough time with it. I should, for as nice a machine as it is. I should spend some more time with it. The battery cable's got a little bit of rust on it, so I'll just switch sides here. Particularly with the loader. The loader I picked up, it did not come with the loader. The loader I picked up in Missouri back in, oh gosh, I guess I've owned this thing since 2013. Yeah, 2013. I think. Late 2013. I think. I'm going to have to go back and look now. It's either late 2013 or late 2014 that I've owned this thing. I got the loader. The loader was on a 300 prior to. It's originally a Round Fender loader. So I had to re-weld the brackets that you see down there. Kind of go over it a little bit. Let me see here. I'll take you off the tripod. So had to move these brackets in. They were originally welded. I don't know if you can see it, but they were welded out. Had to move them in. And then I had to re-weld some of the stuff on the front. There's my botched together welds right there. I still don't know how to weld very good, but we got it all done, and you know, it works just fine. I also had to build, I actually have a reproduction bracket now, but I had to build this bracket right here for the hydraulic pump to sit on, and it's got all kinds of lathe crap in it. But you know, it works. I actually used it a little bit when we used to live in town. I have not used it much since we moved to our current place in 2016. We used it a little bit around the yard. I should use a lot more because it's actually a really nice machine. Aside from the engine being a little temperamental, it does work really, really well. So I am, let me get it cleaned up here a little bit, get all this these lathe millings off of it, and then make a little room to get it out the door. And because I got to move a couple more things to get it out the door, and we'll see if we can get it started. All right, let's see if we can get this thing cranked. It may fire right off, it may not. Turn the gas on. Still has engine oil. It's in neutral. Alright, well, it didn't fire right off, so let's check the spark. Alright, I ended up testing the spark. I forgot to press play on the video. I actually ended up taking the spark plug out because it is so far down in there. I got the spark plug tester out and it didn't really fit, so I took the spark plug out and actually ground it to the loader frame over here. Had plenty of spark, so I think it's a fuel problem. I noticed I have fuel leaking out of the bottom of the carburetor, which is not unusual for sitting so long. So I think what I'm going to do, I don't have any fuel going into the, I don't think I'm necessarily flooding it. I think for good measure, I'm going to pull the air filter off, and the lighting is absolutely terrible. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the hood off. Probably one of my least favorite things to do is pull good hoods off of Round Fenders. Just doesn't excite me, and here I can move you up a little bit. Alright, so what I'm faced with is we got, like I said, gas leaking out of the bottom of the carburetor. I'm not that shocked with it sitting for so long. I'm really not that shocked about that part, so. But I'm going to see a little bit more airflow. We can't get it started. Obviously doesn't need the choke. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get it to cough a little bit. Not much, just a short burst. Nothing. I'm not even going to do any more than that. Okay. So, got an issue somewhere. We'll pull the spark plug back off just in case and test it one more time since I didn't get it first time on video. Figures. Don't you hate when you can't get the spark plug socket off? I'm working so far down in this engine here because of these hydraulic hoses. Wouldn't be that hard if it was a regular wasn't a hydraulic lift. Going to inappropriately use my lathe as a tool post. Now, let's see here. See if you can see this. Hopefully you can't. Hopefully it picks it up. Yeah, I mean, really nice spark. You can, I don't know if you can hear it clicking or not. So, spark is not our problem, which is good because to get to the points on this thing is a absolute royal pain. 100, like grade A royal pain. For those of you that have probably done it, you know what I'm talking about. Well, now. Okay. So, we know we have spark. We know we have air. We should have fuel. So let's try it one more time. Now that we've double checked our spark, we know we have spark. Not so much as he even cough. Let's add some gas to the gas tank, get some pressure, because even though it's dripping out the bottom of the carb, maybe the bowl's not full. I don't know. So let me go get some gas. All right, give it some gas here. Not much. I don't want to give it a lot. All right, let's try one more time. This is perplexing. Oh, there we go. it's running. So let me get a couple things out of the way and we'll let it run, sit here and idle for a little bit, and then we'll move it outside. All right, let's see if we can get out of here aside from the noxious smoke that's in here. It came out just fine. It's much smokier than last time I drove it, but I'm sure some of that's just sitting there. You know, it happens. But everything seems to work. I would take it on a little longer drive, but it's dark outside, so kind of hard for me to show you all the actions outside. But if you want to see this loader work, I think I have a couple videos on it. So this lifts it. Obviously it's just sitting at idle right now, so it's not necessarily going to be all that fast. And you can go to mytractorforum.com, and I actually did a comparison between this and a 45 loader many years ago now. There are no grease zerk, so you just kind of got to let it do its thing. All right, let's go put it in its temporary home, or I guess its new home, I don't know. Whatever we want to do with it. Gotta go put it in the new shed, so we'll go do that. Well, she's in her new parking spot for the time being. I already got the gas shut off, so I'm just waiting for the engine to turn off. Gonna hang out with all the other Round Fenders that I've got out here. So I've got the 67 110, the 65 yeah, 67 110, 65 110, no, I don't know anymore. Trying to think what year that machine is. This is my 65 110 or 67 110. I do know that, but I don't know what that machine is right there. That's kind of sad, but anyway. And then all the rest of the machines are out here. So you got the 66 with the quick way loader, and then you got the 64 with you got the 64 with the Haven sickle mower on it. That means this one down here is a 65, like I first thought. Okay. So it's got that's the 65 right there. Oh, it's finally done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take the battery out of this thing so it doesn't go bad, and leave the hood open. I leave the hood open when they're stored out here. I used to cover them, and I may cover them again, but with the wind that comes through this building, I need some way to tie the covers down. And so I just leave the hoods up. That way no mice start building nests in the battery box or something like that. I mean, they're still prone to build nests, but if I leave the hood up, it's just a little bit better. So I'm going to leave the hood up and go ahead and take the battery out and continue cleaning the shop. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is a nice little machine. I really should use it more. I really enjoy it. Oh, I solved my smoking problem. When I got back on it, I realized I still had the choke all the way in full position. So dropped the choke down a little bit and it quit smoking quite a bit. I drove it around for, I don't know, probably 15 minutes or so before I brought it out here. But that didn't do me any good because driving around a dark driveway, you couldn't see anything. So questions, comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching.